Well, you know, we've been last in so many things. So it just kind of dawned on me, wouldn't it be kind of nice to be first in something that makes sense?
We want to bring technology to the classrooms in a first-class way.
This is the first city where it has been distributed large scale in the U.S.
It's hard to describe unless you were here the day we actually put those laptops in the children's hands. With the City Schools of Birmingham, you're dealing with an urban setting. You're dealing with a mix of incomes, but a majority of our kids come from low-income homes. My poverty rate here is listed as 82%. Many of those kids don't have the option or opportunity to participate in the technology.
And today, our children are not competing with other children locally. You're competing with the world now. And if they're to have a chance to be successful, we have to give them the tools to do so.
The good news is all of the children, K through 5, will have a computer, so they can start the long road of becoming computer savvy.
With the belief that education can really solve a lot of the world's problems. I am a PhD student at the MIT Media Lab, and I came this summer to help facilitate a summer camp at Glen Iris Elementary School for kids all over the districts, so that when they get back to their schools, they can hopefully help other kids learn the laptops.
Let me show you something. I could turn my screen this way, and I could do what? I could take it, turn it, flip it down, and then I could read my book. So let's everybody try that.
The computer can be a lot of different things to a lot of different people. You have the chat program as a way, one, to communicate and learn to express yourself. You have writing, which some of the teachers did use as a journal. You can either write something by yourself or you can write something with somebody else. You can take pictures on it.
I'm a movie star.
You know, you have the internet like you do on other computers, but again, it's theirs and they can use it and they can explore with it. There's just a plethora of things that you can do with it.
They had activity tables, and so each morning they choose an activity. They go to that table and they become an expert on that activity.
And basically their responsibility was to teach themselves, knowing that later we would ask them to teach somebody else what they had learned. So they learned the programs on themselves. They would ask questions here and there, but for the most part, we just asked them to jump in and dig in and find out what they could do. So they taught themselves a lot. In fact, they taught me some, which was really great.
How you do that? How do you do that? I know a person. Come on, stop playing. Okay.
So there was never any question in my mind whether or not they could master the computer. If you would take these kids and you give them the opportunity and put it in their hands and get out of their way, in 10 minutes they'll be teaching us how to do it, and that's exactly what has happened.
And now I'm gonna show you how can I make this move. It says when space key pressed, it will switch to costume 1, then it'll wait 1 second, switch to costume 2, wait 1 second, and then switch to costume 3. Watch.
So the kids jump into it, they're excited about it. I mean, we would start at 8 a.m. and even if I didn't get there at 8 a.m., they would be there and on the computers. I wouldn't have to ask them to get to it.
I sit in the office in the morning watching the kids come in before school. I mean, I got kids getting out of cars with laptops open.
To sum it all up, they really did not want to stop working on the laptops.
And these EXO laptops, they're cool, man.
The theme for the camp was educating our communities about healthcare issues.
UAB folks are gonna come over here and they're gonna help us learn about some health things like diabetes. And then we're gonna do our own research. We're gonna go on the internet and we're gonna find out things on our own. And then we are going to use Scratch to create some campaigns that try to teach people about health.
Their projects were either commercials, some did video games, They did the memorized cards where you have to match information with the vocabulary.
We were like making a memorized game
About diabetes.
Yeah.
Fat.
about diabetic fats, like you have increased thirst.
And you had type 2, then it's a known cure.
And your mouth gets dry, and you have to take medicine and pills.
Technology and computers, and especially this computer, the way it's configured, involve kids in a lot of thinking and synthesizing activities, you know. And in order to create a game with information in it, you got to kind of know the information, or you got to study it a little bit so that you get it right. You learn by doing.
Kids are really creating, they're inventing, they're coming up with their own ideas and they're carrying them out, and they're learning lots of things in the process of doing that. You had the Drug Stoppers who came up with a song.
Stop spreading those drugs around. Stop spreading the drugs.
It was sort of a commercial type of idea where they would say, you know, drugs are bad for you, drugs can kill you, but we don't do drugs because, you know, we're the drug stoppers. Very adamant about that. And then you had the Brainiacs, who wanted to teach people about different parts of the brain. So theirs was neat. They came up with this story that introduced a game, and it was actually a man who gets in an accident, and a robot takes him to the hospital, and then the robot shrinks itself, and it moves through the different parts of the brain. And the different parts of the brain are a maze that he has to get through, and he's not allowed to touch parts of the brain or he'll hurt the brain and he'll have to go back. So, I mean, it was just a wide variety of things that they came up with. That's the key. Because it wasn't, I didn't give them assignment. I didn't say, you need to make a maze that teaches people different parts of the brain. You know, I said, let's come up with ideas to teach people about health. That was it. They did it. It was really fantastic.
Some of the geniuses' ideas are coming from my giant brain, and some are coming from my partner's medium-sized brain.
Excuse me,
But
I am a straight A student, so I ain't got no medium-sized brain.
But it is really okay. But okay, now watch this. Now,
I mean, it is a vision for the kids, but it's also a vision for the Birmingham community. It's about economic development. It's about bringing, you know, companies to Birmingham. Companies want to be here because we have this large pool of talent, basically.
When they start looking at that job market, they can say, I can do this, or this, or this, or this. They have options, and that's what's important.
I hope it'll produce lifelong learners, kids who want to be first rate.
And if you really want to know the impact, all you have to do is look at the faces of the children we have given those computers to, and I don't have to say another word.